Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Automation. Today, we're going to be doing episode number 3 on our Automation / BeamNG series. Now, the past 2 episodes, we've built 2 cars that have been, well, let's face it, garbage. So today, we're going to make up for that by making something that's, half decent. I have no idea what I'm going to base it on. This is all just going to be on the fly sort of stuff. But, yeah, we'll see how that goes. If you guys got any suggestions for cars you would like to see in the series, leave a comment below. But without further ado, let's get underway with the build. Okay, so after a bit of thought, I want to make a sports car. So I made the model year 1997, and I'm now just going to have a look and see what we can choose from. Let's go with... we'll go with this one here. This looks pretty good. Okay, so the panel material, we'll make that... let's make it steel. Monocoque chassis material. We'll make that, you know what, let's try something different. We'll make that AHS steel. Engine placement, we'll make it front transverse. I want to try and make this all-wheel drive with a transverse engine. Then we'll go with a double up the front and a multi-link in the rear. Let's call this an engine. Yes, today we are brimming full of creativity. We'll make it a V6. The block material will be cast iron. We're gonna up the engine capacity to 3 and make it a bit square. 3.5. There we go. 3.5 liters. And then dual overhead cam with 5 valves per cylinder. Okay, head material, we'll make that aluminium. We'll have a billet steel crank, lightweight titanium conrods, and lightweight forged pistons. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we are throwing all the good shit right into this engine. Compression, I won't touch that at the moment. We'll raise the cam profile up to 87. Yeah, that'll do. Variable valve timing, all cams. We'll make it a twin turbo, ball bearing performance preset, injection, multi-point electronic fuel injection, and we'll go with, let's go with per cylinder performance. We'll raise the RPM limits to 7.5. Make this run on 95. Raise the fuel mixture up a little bit, and also advance the ignition timing to 62. Dual exhaust, maybe a bit bigger. High flow freeway catalytic converter. No first muffler, and we'll baffle the rear. And we got a bit of knocking, but it's nothing we can't fix. I am an automation
No! Lizard?
and I will have this engine fixed in a jiffy. Let's play around with the turbocharger a little bit. 330 horsepower, that's pretty reasonable for what I want to get out of this thing. We'll raise the turbo boost up to 14 psi. More knocking will balance that out. The turbine's slightly restricted. We'll give that some more airflow there. And also the compressor. Oof. We're nearly at 400 horsepower. Oh goodness. I'll make the exhaust a tiny bit bigger as well. 400 horsepower, that's a pretty decent amount, but I want to tone it down a little bit. So what if we just put on a standard intake? That did absolutely nothing to the power and the torque figure. Oh goodness. Okay, we'll lower the cam profile then. Because I want a powerful car, but I don't want it to be that powerful. Again, I want to make this, compared to the Hellhound and the Lavochware Wedge, I want this car to actually be drivable. I don't want it to be making 410 horsepower though. And that curve just looks... It just looks stupid. You know what? I'm going to turn off the cameras for a bit, and I'm just going to quickly fix this engine up. Okay, so I've made some modifications to the engine. It's making 360 horsepower and 310 foot-pounds of torque right now. The turbine is a little bit restricted, but again, 360, that's the exact power I wanted out of this engine. So, without further ado, let's hear this thing roar into life. That sounds very, very delicious. Okay, so let's move on to the design. We've only got one body option, not too fussed about that. Let's see what we can do for the morphing. We can move this back and forth. That just looks weird. We'll move that back. I do want to make the fenders a bit wider though. Ooh, I really like that line there though. Yeah, make the fenders wider like that, not too crazy. Yeah, besides that, I don't really want to touch any... bring that forward a bit. But besides that, I don't really want to touch any more on the morphing front. Now let's make a color for this. Yeah, that's exactly what I kind of want to go for, so that'll do. I won't bother about adding any flake. Well, add a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty good. And we'll actually give this color a name. I dub thy color teal yay. Teal yay. I'm horrible at naming things. We'll also do the trim as well. I don't know why that's red. I want to make that plastic. There we go. Right, perfect. Now let's do the drivetrain. Transverse all-wheel drive, that's what we want. We'll make it a manual. Let's make it a 6-speed. Yeah, 6-speed. Top speed. Oh, but this thing could apparently do 300 kilometers an hour. That's pretty quick. Spacing, we'll up that a little bit to 55, and we'll add a geared limited slip differential. You know what, honestly, this body, it's giving me some Mitsubishi 3000 GT vibes, so honestly, I think we're just gonna make a 3000 GT looking kind of car. Of course, knowing this channel though, we're going to make one, but a lot worse. Oh god. Radial tires, we'll go with a sports compound. We'll raise the tire size to 17, wheel size rather, to 17 inches. Make the tires a bit wider, 265s at the back and 250s in the front. And then we'll do some alloy wheels, and we'll also adjust the offset. So it sort of looks flush with the car. More of an aesthetic thing really, rather than a performance thing, but if it affects the handling that much, we'll go back and change it later. Okay, now let's actually try and put some decent brakes on a car for once. Can we do it? I don't know, but we'll find out. Let's put on some vented discs on the front, make them 2-piston, and then a 3-piston on the rear. Now, this is a setting that I would like to play with, the aerodynamics. Now, I want to try and give this thing some downforce, so we'll do that, and we'll make it reasonable number. Let's make it 30 for now. We won't worry about adding cooling flaps, but these Well, in case the brakes are fading, we'll add a bit there as well. 10. Interior, how on earth do you fit a back seat in this thing? I have no idea. We'll just make it a 2+2. Sport interior with a premium cassette. Power steering, variable hydraulic, electronic stability control, and we'll do advanced 90s safety. Now suspension, we'll do active sport, and we will go for adaptive dampers. Okay, now let's see what's wrong with this thing. Brake force is low. Yep, okay. Front dampers are hard. Of course, that's what it's like with every single automation car I make, for God's sakes. And the brakes suffer from brake fade. Yeah, so we'll get back to fixing those issues in a second, but let's move on to the fixtures. So let's add on these headlights here. These look like the taillights from an Evo, actually, but just modified to look like headlights. These look pretty good. If we could just move them... Yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah. Now let's add a grille to the bottom. Something that's pretty... what does this look like? Flip it vertically. Yeah, it's pretty minimalistic so far. We'll also add some fog lights on the side as well. Let's add... Actually, let's go for these ones here. Yeah, I'm digging the front of this thing, and I didn't really have to do much with it. That's oops-a-daisy. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that. Can we add something else to the front? Oh, yeah. Let's add a lip to the front. Let's do this one here. Make it like that. And then stretch it out. There's a bit of clipping going on, but we'll gloss over that. I'll make that plastic. Yeah, it looks like... Actually, I want to change this part here. Okay, yep, that'll do just nicely. We'll also throw on a badge as well. For now, we'll just throw on this one here. There we go. Lovely. We'll come up with a name for it after we do the design, because right now, can't really think of one. So next, we'll throw on some vents onto the bonnet. Put a couple of these on. There we go. Yep. Those will do just nicely. Indicators on the side, we'll make them simple circles. This design has been drama-free so far. It's nice to have a rather sensible episode for once, you know. We'll do wheels now, actually. What ones should we pick? I'm honestly thinking these ones. You know what? Yeah, we'll go for these ones. We'll also add some mirrors as well. Put them on the door. Yeah, we can put them on the doors. Sure. Tail lights. I'm gonna make a light bar here. So, let's experiment with some parts. So that'll be our centerpiece, and then let's no. That looks so... Oh no. Oh, wait, never mind, they fixed themselves. Okay, cool. I want to make this whole thing red, so let's do so. Okay, you know what? I don't mind this setup. This is, this looks pretty good. I like this light bar. We'll add a third brake light too. We'll add it here. There we go. And I think the one characteristic thing from a 3000 GT is the behemoth of a spoiler it has. So let's see what we can do here. That's a little too big as yeah. Yeah, too big. You know what? This wing's okay. I mean, it's not as dramatic, but it does the job very nicely. We'll leave it painted as well. Yeah, awesome. We'll keep that. Also get a license plate here as well. We'll just go for the standard automation Japanese license plate there. The back does look a little empty though. I'm gonna try and put in a trim piece here and see if that changes stuff. Stretch it out a little bit. Oh god, no, it's not gonna work. Actually, let's use one of these diffusers here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll just put in a couple of exhausts on the back of it. There we go, that looks perfect. Kind of looks like an NSX from the back, actually. But yeah, I like the light bar. I really do, and the wing as well. That's a pretty good combo there. A couple more things we need to add. The door handles, which will use these here, and the filler cap, which we shall also put there. All in all, I think this design looks brilliant. It's, you know, we've only filmed a couple of episodes of this, and usually they would turn into these, like, they all look, you know, weird and stuff, especially after the Lavochwell wedge, where I think I was on the verge of having a goddamn stroke. But the 3000 GT looking thingamajig that we've done, I actually properly enjoy this design. I'm gonna add one of these here, give it a bit more detail. Oh, forgot to mirror it. There we go. Cool. We'll also add an antenna as well. We'll put it on the back. Alright, so that is the design done. Now, normally at this point I'd go, oh yeah, I'll cut the cameras and do the fixes, but honestly, I want this to sort of be like a learning experience, which we watch together, and as we try and figure out the foibles of automation. So, I'm going to leave the cameras on while I fix this stuff. Brake pad type. We'll also make them a lot bigger. See what it says. Front brake force is still low. Okay. What about now? Brake force is high, so we'll make that a 2-piston. Brake force is high. 1-piston. Okay, the brake force is too high, but they still suffer from brake fade. Oh boy. Yep, the curse of the brake tune is back to bite me on the rear. Okay. Let me just make the back solid disc. Let me just make it the maximum size. Also make this the maximum size as well, but then the brake force is high. Okay, you know what? Screw the brakes. Let's just focus on fixing the suspension. No, but that's just a common warning that automation always gets. So in that case, ladies and gentlemen, after fixing absolutely nothing, we shall now move on to BeamNG Drive. So I'll just import this over to there, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so we're back on the automation test track map, and we're going to be driving the I have named this the Shindaiko Katana GR4. There were a few things I added to the car whilst it was off camera. I added some badging on the back. I've also fixed the brakes, so according to automation at least, they don't fade. I mean, I had to cheat a little bit and use a quality slider. But, besides that, the Katana is now, in essence, a perfect, problem-free car, which is going to be something that's very rare on this channel. Anyways, so we're going to be taking it on a slight little drive through this canyon road here. It sort of twists and turns. It goes all the way to the top, to this sort of like snowy source of biome up here. I have driven up to this part a few times. It is very slippery, but I have absolute faith that the Katana can handle it. So, let's give this car a test drive. God, it accelerates well, doesn't it? It's just nice to have a car that doesn't wheel spin and try and kill you, and the handling, it's not that bad. It handles pretty well. I mean, I don't know if this is just an automation car problem or not, but there's still a very bit of understeer. I don't know if that's just an automation handling thing, but I don't know. But besides that, it's nice to actually drive a car that's actually drivable. You know, we had the understeering, wheel-spinning mess of the Rebel Hellhound, and we had the leading tower of Lavochua Wedge. And just to drive a car that actually takes these corners well, it's great. I love it. Slow down here for the crate section. Oh, yep. This car is fun. It is a lot of fun. Honestly, I think this car, when it's competing against all the others in the season, this will do very well. This might very well be the dark horse of the contest. And I also am strongly believing that once we take this thing to the track, it'll probably be the fastest car around there. We'll have to find out. Oh God! Now I'm feeling the effects of the snow. Ooh, jeez, the car slipping and sliding everywhere. Gotta try my hardest not to crash. Very easy to control though. Oh no, no, no! Turn. Oh dear! We clipped the fence. We should be fine, and we'll just blast through on top of this damn wall here. Foot hard down. Again, 360 horsepower. Not the most powerful car we've made, but it's definitely enough. You know, it's drivable and oh, Jesus Christ! Oh no! We lost the wheel. Oh gosh. Oh, we just went flying back there. Oh no. Right. I guess we better scoot on down to the track down there and see how the Katana performs around the track. Alright, so let's see how the Katana does around the track. Bit quick off the gate here, and we can see immediately how much better this thing is in the turns. Sticking very nicely to the apex with that first chicane. Understeering a little bit in that turn though, but thundering down to the second corner now. Turns in hard there. Definitely, this car just has such a massive handling advantage over the others. Ooh, sort of jumps the curb there as it comes down to the carousel now, and the line this thing does through this corner, it's the cleanest one that we've ever done, as it now goes down the main straight. Now, compared to the Rebel Hellhound, it's not going to be as fast down here, but was still a decent amount of speed near the end, doing about 135 miles an hour coming into the slingshot, and barely lifts off at all going into that corner. This car just grips so much. As we come down to the next turn, again, there was a little bit of understeer in this turn here, but right there. But overall, gets out of it, no problem whatsoever. As it comes down to another chicane now, this car just absolutely aces this part here. Didn't need to enter in so slowly. Turns in sharp, and then out the other end, takes the racing line out and goes on. God, I cannot stop singing the praises of this thing. As it comes down now to Adam's apex, locks up a little bit there, but gets around just fine. A little bit of understeer, but carries on. Coming up to the last two corners now. How is it gonna react? Very, very nicely, actually. Ooh, a little bit of understeer there, too. Coming up to the last corner, it takes a nice line through there. Kind of misses the apex and drives down the main straight. And here we go. It is across the line. That felt like a very quick time, but we shall find out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can now confirm that the Shindaiko Katana GR4's lap time was 2 minutes 21.35, which puts it in second place. Didn't quite have enough to beat the Sovereign, but it still beats out the Rebel Hellhound and the Citrus Lavochua Wedge. A good effort, nevertheless. Alright guys, well that does it for the third episode of the Automation / BeamNG series. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, because this time I really did. This car has been a hell of a lot of fun. It feels very quick, handles properly. It's amazing. I'm in love with this thing. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. If you guys have suggestions for cars to come in the series, also feel free to let me know. Until then, guys, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. So take it easy, lads, and I'll see you around next time. And insert catchphrase here.